Hello ladies and gentlemen and everybody else watching, my name's Eric and welcome back to a brand new video here on the Bioshock Hub. Now it's been over a month since I made a cut content video and you guys always seem to enjoy when I put these videos out, so I'm going to be doing another one today. This one is pretty interesting because a lot of the information that is going to be within this video I had to actually go into the files on PC within the games and find some hidden audio diaries, some hidden videos, etc. So I really do hope you enjoy this one. Very quickly, before we hop into today's video, I would highly recommend watching all the way through until the end of the video because I do have a pretty big announcement that I'd like to share with you guys. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And at the number 10 spot of today's list, we have the early splicers and the early splicers concept art. Keep in mind, you will be seeing a couple of pictures on screen of some of the concept art, and if you guys want to check out anything that's mentioned in the video, it'll be under the sources tab in the description. Anyways, I digress. The road to the finalized splicer design was long and varied. Many monstrous designs were proposed before the game creators finally agreed that a more identifiable human enemy delivered greater horror and pathos than any deformed quote-unquote creature could. Many of the splicer designs were showcased in the Museum of Orphaned Concepts. I actually made a video exploring that entire museum. If you guys want to check it out, you can click the card at the top right hand corner of the screen right now. Anyways, let me know what you think of some of the concept art down in the comment section below. I'm genuinely interested in hearing what your guys' thoughts and opinions are on this topic. Next up at the number 9 spot is the original Augustus Sinclair in Bioshock 2. I covered the one in Minerva's Den, however this is going to cover the base game. So Sinclair's first model was originally going to be based off of a Cuban-American actor named Desi Arnaz. I really do hope I pronounced that right. But that changed with his personality as his character was further developed. On top of that, here's where one of the data mined things that I found came into existence. And you can actually do this yourself. If you have the game on PC, you can find it. You will need a special type of video player to do so, which I'll link in the description for you guys. But a video without audio of Augustus Sinclair being tied up in Persephone exists in the game files, which was left unused, and I'll play that for you right now. Staying on topic with some of the main characters, we have Bridget Tenenbaum, the original Bridget Tenenbaum. Tenenbaum was originally supposed to have a much larger presence during Bioshock 2's development. Similar to the first game, she was meant to give the players gifts for saving the little sisters if you rescued them. When the story was finalized, the designers had decided that this was not important for her to do, and her part was minimized, as you can see in the train station. The role of rewarding kindness was then given to Eleanor Lamb, and I suppose that was to give her a little bit more of character development. Tenenbaum did manage to get a bigger role in the Minerva's Den DLC, as most of you know, by awakening and helping, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1, you've been warned, by awakening and helping Subject Sigma throughout the game. Until the development of Bioshock 2, Tenenbaum's first name was spelled Bridget, B-R-I-D-G-E-T-T-E, instead of how it is normally spelt. The change stayed in the rest of the series. Now in at the number 7 spot, we're going to be talking about yet another huge character in Bioshock 2 that got drastically altered, and that is Grace Holloway. According to concept art, a poster reveals that Grace would have had a duet partner named Stanley. Thankfully, not Stanley Poole, because I don't think that would be very much of a well-orchestrated duet. Anyways, I digress. Both of whom would have performed at a nightclub named the Deep Blue Sea Review under the company Rapture Tone Records. Storyboard concepts and concept art also suggest that Grace would have been stationed or lived in her dressing room at the Limbo Room instead of her hiding out in the secret room in the Sinclair Deluxe. So it's little things like that and little changes like that that I wish would have stayed in the game, just to give some of these characters a little more depth, if that makes sense to you guys, at least in terms of having a more hashed out character. Let me know what you think down in the comments. For the number 6 slot, I decided to put my overall favorite character in the series here, and that is Sander Cohen. And you might be surprised to hear that he was supposed to be in Bioshock 2, which is kind of weird considering the events of Bioshock 1, but whatever, it is what it is. Sander Cohen was actually at one point supposed to reappear in Bioshock 2 as, get this, a 20-foot tall Freudian monster bunny. I can see why they cut him out. That seems way too cartoonish. Anyways, removed audio diaries from Minerva's Den reveals that he would have been a patient of Sophia Lamb. And I will narrate the actual audio diaries for you guys. So, without further ado, here's both of the audio diaries for you. Sander, slow down. It's just a question. Just a question? Is your work under constant scrutiny, Doctor? By the very people you intend to enlighten? You can't imagine the feeling, having your every move picked apart by an army of crude, small-minded, The artist does not simply create a masterpiece, Dr. Lamb. He exposes himself to a million tiny blows. After a time, the onslaught can become too much to bear. So this alter ego of yours is kind of a defense mechanism. The rabbit construct. I've told you, it is not defense, Doctor. The wild bunny is expression incarnate. The pull of art itself on the blood. I will not stand by. Stand by while some Philistine degenerates, the very muse of the artist. Do not expect to see Sander Cohen in this office again, Miss Lamb. I'm accustomed to being torn down by your kind without paying for the privilege. So for the number 5 slot, I decided to choose a character that I find very interesting, yet he's extremely mysterious. There's not a lot of information about him, but the information that we do have really interests me. Because all throughout the Bioshock series, maybe besides Grace Holloway, you really don't hear people going against the idea of Big Daddies and wanting them removed completely. And that is what this individual wanted for his living situation in Pauper's Drop. And there's going to be an audio diary that I'll have to narrate again for you guys, so I do apologize for that. But anyways, his name is just Benny. Benny, only known by his first name, was a citizen of Rapture who, as I mentioned, lived in Pauper's Drop. He wanted the Big Daddies to disappear from Pauper's Drop on orders from Grace Holloway because she told him that they stole children. And I'm guessing that this was a reference to Subject Delta, quote-unquote, stealing Eleanor Lamb. But that's all speculation. Unfortunately, he is one of the characters who ended up getting cut during the development of Bioshock 2. Again, the reason why I find it so interesting was because I think this could have had a huge dynamic on the game, especially hearing somebody go against the Big Daddies in terms of wanting them to be removed. I think, and I wish, that idea would have been explored at one point in time during the entire series. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments if you wouldn't mind indulging me on that. She says they've got to go. She says the Tin Men have got to go. The Big Daddies, they steal the children. And we can't have that. She says, you can't have our daughters. You hear me, Metal Daddy? There's no place for you here. For the number 4 slot is another person that is a little bit mysterious in terms of not exactly having the most compelling of backstories or known by anything besides just a singular name. All we know is that this person was a convicted criminal and he was locked up in Persephone. His name is Legrasta. Legrasta was a citizen of Rapture and an inmate, as I mentioned, in Persephone. He sent an audio diary to the warden to complain about the incessant light coming from the luminescent biomass beneath the facility. The light seemed to have impacted his sleep and driven him to hearing voices and having hallucinations. His petitions for a cell in solitary confinement over the one he's currently in is pretty extreme considering how bad solitary confinement can actually be. Again, he is one of the characters who was cut during the development of Bioshock 2, and I managed to find the audio diary as well. So, just to show you how bad of a prison, or I guess a quote-unquote inmate would be in Persephone, and the living conditions, just listen to this audio diary and tell me it doesn't sound unnerving whatsoever.
Warden, you gotta get me in a different cell. Those goddamn lights and shapes out the window. I can't sleep. I can feel my head shaking apart inside. I mean, what is going on here? Something's not right out there, Warden. It's like they're whispering to me. I'd even take solitary over this. Now there's an idea.
So this video seems jam-packed with a lot of information about Bioshock 2 and removed content from that game. And the number 3 slot is no different. This is Dean Martinez. And you could pretty much consider him a handyman in terms of being able to successfully set up a security system. And he did this for Daniel Wales. And he quotes, "I rigged up an override switch under the desk in the old manager's office. Flip it, and you'll have a 3-minute window of opportunity to get in and reset the system before it gets feisty again." Dean Martinez was a citizen of Rapture, obviously. He installed a security system, as I mentioned, for Daniel Wells in the Pink Pearl and recorded an audio diary with the instructions to reset the security systems if he locked himself out. He is one of the characters, again, who met the fate of being cut during the development of Bioshock 2. And I believe I have to do the narration of the audio diary because, ironically, there's no audio in the audio diary. So, here we go. Here's your notice. I set up the security system just like you asked. Camera watching your door, turret out front to keep the riffraff away. Remember, if you lock yourself out, those puppies will bite. So I rigged up an override switch under the desk in the old manager's office. Flip it, and you'll have a 3-minute window of opportunity to get in and reset the system before it gets feisty again. So rounding out the final 2 spots of today's list, we'll be heading over to Bioshock Infinite. So for the number 2, I'm going to combine 2 characters into one because they have to deal with each other and they both involve the Vox. So the first is just a minor thing to Daisy Fitzroy, and then the second is going to be something else with Daisy Fitzroy and someone called the Voxy Lady. So originally, Aisha Taylor was considered for the voice of Daisy Fitzroy, and if you want to read up on her, I'll put her IMDb along with her Wikipedia page down in the sources tab in the description. She also recorded 47 minutes worth of dialogue for Fitzroy, which was left unused, so I feel honestly bad for her considering the fact she wasted almost an hour of her time recording dialogue that was never used. Now, going to Daisy Fitzroy and the Voxy Lady. On screen, you'll be seeing both of the concept arts for the character model of the Voxy Lady and then the woman with Daisy Fitzroy as well. Early concept art for the Vox Populi shows Daisy Fitzroy and another Vox woman. This concept was developed into an actual character model, but the model was never seen in-game. It is unknown if this was an early model for Fitzroy or not, but the details on this model suggest that she would have had some major role in the game. If that's the case, I think she would have kind of been second in command to Daisy Fitzroy, as Daisy was the leader of the Vox, so I can imagine she would have been some sort of general or second in command or something of that sort. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to let me know. And now for the number 1 spot, we probably have the most interesting character, so to speak, on the list today. And it's an early and unnamed prototype enemy. You guys will be seeing a screenshot of it right about now. So there's 1 to 2 things I'd like to preface before giving you guys the details. 1, it shows up in the trailer for the Gibson Girl model of Elizabeth, you know, the mute one. And then also, I think this could have been something that the Mad Toy Maker could have made. If you guys don't know about him, you can click the icon at the top right corner of the screen right now, and it'll take you to a video that I made on him in the past. Anyways, appearing in the same video as the prototype Gibson Girl Elizabeth, like I mentioned, there is an unnamed enemy shown resembling a giant mechanical doll in appearance, which is why I alluded to the Mad Toy Maker. Unfortunately, no information has been given out on what the enemy is or does, and it is likely it was scrapped early in development from the Art Nouveau version. It is also possible that the doll was just simply a stand-in or a fill-in for something else, or was placed there to give Elizabeth something to draw the player's attention to. So I think this could have potentially been a creation from the Mad Toy Maker. This could have been an early prototype for the Patriot. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, and let me know what do you think this prototype enemy would do. So you've made it all the way through the video. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. Now, the announcements I wanted to make, and I believe there's 3 in total. The first one is that I'm currently working very early on a Christmas video where I help smaller Twitch streamers and smaller YouTubers as well. And I want to try to give them more exposure as a Christmas present. So I already have a lot in the works on the Twitch side of things, but I need your help in terms of finding YouTubers who might need a little bit of a boost, if that makes sense. So if you know anybody that covers things like Bioshock and The Last of Us, please DM me their channels on either Twitter or Instagram. And if you don't follow me on that or don't have an account, I would highly recommend making an account and following me on there. I do answer every single message that I get on both of those platforms. The second announcement is that I want to do a Christmas giveaway for you guys as well. I want to do things like give away Xbox and PSN codes. That way you guys can buy something on the store that you want, or some DLC, some microtransaction, whatever it may be. That code is going to be yours, and I might be giving away 2 of each to a couple of lucky viewers, as well as some Bioshock memorabilia like I've done before. I had these little posters that I signed on the back. I wrote a personalized note to the people that won, and I want to do that again for you guys, just to give back for all the support you show me. And then the final announcement is that I want to do a Christmas live stream, but not on Christmas Day. It'll be on Christmas Eve. We'll have a celebration. Hopefully you guys will be able to show up and hang out with me, and we can just have a nice Christmas time, I suppose, if that's what you want to call it. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video and want to see more like this, click on the screen now. Check out those videos. There's some pretty damn good videos, if I do say so myself. If you're new here and want to join the Rapture family or see the Rapture family grow, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications to never miss a video or a live stream, because YouTube's a little weird with that, and be sure to share the video with some family, some friends, or on a social media platform of your choice. Other than that, as I mentioned, if you want to stay up to date with me, Twitter and Instagram are the best places to do so. Both will be linked in the description below, along with my Discord server if you guys want to join that. Anyways, thank you all so very much for watching this video, and with that being said, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Take care, and I love you all.